It's 10:01.
We are late and we're sorry. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another jam-packed action edition of the end of the night. I am your host, Mr. David Lee Madison. This right here is my dear friend, co-host and producer, Mr. Joe Ridgely. Joe, how are you?
I am excellent. You forgot to mention one thing.
What did I forget?
This episode brought to you by Chuli's Gum Sucker.
Oh, yes. Suck me off and make me gum. The Chuli's Gum Sucker. Nothing but class and dignity on this show, Mr. Ridgely. I'm going to take my glasses off because I realize that I look even sadder and even older with my glasses on.
So you're implying I look even sadder and older with my glasses on?
No, there's absolutely no help for you either way. So it was a big week. On Tuesday, August... Was it Tuesday? Yeah. On Tuesday, August 2nd was my birthday, or as it's known in my household, Passover. We did absolutely nothing, and I was ridiculed and pointed at and hit with sticks like every other birthday, so it was just a normal birthday. Then on Saturday, we celebrated, because a dear friend of ours wasn't going to be available next week when it's my daughter's when it was my daughter's actual birthday. We celebrated on Saturday, and we had a lovely, lovely party for her. She got some wonderful gifts. It was just a really, really nice birthday weekend for her, and I love her very much.
Well, Jason's saying if you had a wicked glasses chain, though, granny chain, that would be pretty cool.
Yes, I would look like Steven Tyler. It's Sunday night. It's jam-packed, which means it's the time for end of the night. Happy birthday, Dave. Thank you, CJ. I know you were off in New Jersey kissing Kevin Smith's ass and not actually wishing me a happy birthday. The film director that actually cares about you, the one who actually likes you.
And apparently he was admiring their grass.
The wonderful green grass of New Jersey. He said he loves the green grass in New Jersey, and I wrote under that, said no one ever, which I found absolutely shocking.
I just made sure I was looking at the picture correctly, and it was actually the grass on the ground, not at Kevin Smith's house.
Yes. That would be kind of creepy, actually. Tonight we have a lovely filmmaker who actually reached out to us and wanted to be on our show. Catherane Skillen is her name. We were supposed to have AV check. We do every show at 9:45. We do an AV check. Our guest pops in, and we just make sure everything is up and running. But sadly, she did not show up, so I'm at a loss. So I hope everything's okay with her. I hope that she pops up during the show, because that would be awesome. We dedicated this evening to her. And hello, good and great pop culture weekend. Yes. By the way, JW, what did you think of... I've been reading nothing but unbelievably great things about the new Predator movie. Did you see it yet, Joe?
Remember I told you that I was dog sitting this weekend?
Right.
Every time I try to watch it, there's a dog throughout this movie. And the dog that was friggin' trying to lunge at my brand new TV. I almost killed the dog. Yes. So I was unable to watch it. I plan on watching it within the next few days. The first half hour that I saw was pretty good.
There's nothing worse than watching a dog who's literally a critic and is trying to change the channel. Then New Jersey grass is amazing, says CJ. Okay. And Libby says that they have great mushrooms. I'm not even going to touch that one.
So is Florida. And Ken's here as well.
Hello, Ken. I hope you well. I watched Prey. It was okay. Better than the other Predator movie. Is it better than the original, the Schwarzenegger
I wouldn't
original?
go that far.
Just finished Prey. It's so. Oh, CJ liked it. So yeah, it's very funny because it seems to be that people really, really are digging this movie. It's getting real, like the social media craze around it's pretty substantial.
What
So
I'm digging even more than Prey is The Sandman on Netflix.
that should be cool. I haven't seen it yet. How is it? You've seen? Is it like the whole season up? Like is it like
The
a
whole
Stranger Things
season,
kind of thing?
the whole season is up. I'm
Mhm.
on episode 3, I believe, and it is really good.
Sweet. JW says Prey is absolutely amazing. Great dog, great concept, and the best hero since Arnie. It also ties to the current films and pays attention to the credits. Best since the first. That's a really high praise, and I can't wait to see it. So that's going on. Well, what else was going on this weekend? I think JW was saying it was a great weekend for pop culture. I mean, I don't know what to have. He's so much more in touch with what's going on in the world than I am. You know how I like to show kind of cool things that are in my collection.
Yeah, one second. JW, you're wrong. It's beyond pretty good.
Oh, you like it a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if JW's ever read the graphic novels or.
So the Sandman's based on like a graphic novel, comic book type of thing.
Yes.
Is it horror or is it like superhero-ish?
More of a horror.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really call it horror, sci-fi kind of.
Okay. That's cool. Kind of like a Tales from the Crypt kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
Okay. Well, with that being said, as you know, people who watch this show, I love to share cool things that are in my collection. And a friend of mine gave me this. I don't know, maybe 8 to 10. Gave me these 8 to 10 years ago, but I find them really cool. Back before there were like digital graphics on major networks, and these were actually from NBC. These they had something called title cards, Joe, and it's because they didn't have the ability to put up the graphics like they do today. And these are some of the original title cards from back in the day that would let you know what the next film that was coming up on the channel was. And this is, of course, To Have and Have Not, the great Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall film. And I don't think you could see it, but it says on the upper corner, October 21st of 1951. So they shot this back in 1951 so that you would know what the next film on was coming up on NBC at the time. And so these cards are now, let's see, they're over 73 years old. And they're really, really cool because when you think about it, when you frame them out just right, which I can't do on this screen because I can't see once I hold it up. But if you frame it up just right, it kind of gives the appearance of a digital graphic. But this was way before digital graphics were available. This is a Clark Gable and Joan Crawford movie, which aired in June 11th of 1951. And this is a really cool one. Affair with a Stranger, which was a Gene Simmons and Victor Mature movie, which aired in December of 1950. And this one actually has two on one card. On the back it has Cry Havoc with Margaret Sullivan and Ann Southern, which aired on NBC August 20th, 1949. So these cards have a whole bunch. They're really cool to have. I don't even know if anybody else even has these. Lady Luck with Robert Young and Barbara Hale, which aired on NBC on September 14th of 1954. And there's a Joan Crawford movie, No More Ladies, with Joan Crawford, and I won't even try that dude's name. This one aired on January 20th of 1950, which it says right there. So, I mean, these are really, really cool piece of American cinematic history. It's the way that they would let you know what film was coming on next. Thank you, Matt. I hope you were well. Get a hold of some vintage title cards.
All right, so Ken McKiernan is saying that the Sandman is supernatural. That's the word I was kind of looking for, and I just couldn't grasp it. And
I love the way you segue from my cards, like, boy, Dave, that was boring as shit. Let's get back to the Sandman.
You took a breath, so I thought it was fake.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
I have none left, so go ahead.
Sandman, you say? Stars who? I don't know who it stars, man. Some guy that looks like the original kid from the Vampire Show, but movie. What the hell is this? Robert Patterson. Kind of looks like him, but Sandman is pretty good. Also saw Lightyear on the flight. It was good. They, Them is a bit of a noble failure and fails as a slasher. Oh, that's a Kevin Bacon flick.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see that yet. And I'm assuming he means Bullet Train has a goofy action film with a 90s vibe, like a lesser Tarantino.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of looks silly. I guess I'll give that.
Let's see. This was makes you so cool, Dave.
This is what makes you so cool, I think. His damn cell phone.
No, I'm thinking that he's saying you were at one point. And
okay. I was cool at one point. That's very
people like the stuff you find interesting. I would love to get a hold of some of the title cards. I did get a sell sheet of Dogma while I was at the stash.
Oh, sweet Dogma, yeah.
Coming in blind on Sandman. And are those hand lettered, those cards?
I have no idea. It's very strange, Matt. The black part is kind of felty, which is very, very strange. I don't know how they did them. I guess they... I have no idea how they did them.
And you said you had those for about 17 years now?
No, I had these for probably close to 10 years now.
10 years.
Yep.
Have you done research on them at all?
I can't... Nobody. I mean, I would say, well, there's 3 major networks that existed. So I think the ones from probably NBC, from ABC and CBS were tossed in the garbage, which was usually the case. Someone preserved a lot of the NBC ones and gave them to me as a gift. And I don't know if anything else really survived. I mean, there was stuff like, this stuff is not... they had a TV show called The Golden Age of Comedy, and this is their card for the Golden Age of Comedy. I mean, this stuff is literally. Then when they would do a commercial. They would say like, "Hey, go to Herman's where boys' short sleeve sports shirts are on sale." Right, and then they would blow up for 79 cents. I mean, it's just stuff like that that's so wicked. Here's a Claudette Colbert movie, and I have like literally all of the ones that were from NBC, hundreds and hundreds of them. I didn't want to bore everybody with them, but they're super cool when you think about. These were the title cards that were used for a major network, and millions of people watched, these, and we're like, "Oh, that's coming on next." Or I could get eggs for $1.84. That's fantastic. Or I can buy
expensive eggs. Jesus.
Or I could buy a new car for $3.88.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Stuff like that is just really. I'm so intrigued with this kind of stuff, and I tried to do some research on them, but I don't think anybody else in the world has them. So
you got to go to the Antique Roadshow, man.
Yeah, it's like one of one. So, but I look at them and see names like Humphrey Bogart and Clark Gable and Bing Crosby and all those wonderful, wonderful names of yesteryear, and say, wow, those are pretty epic.
Yes, for you kids out there, this is before major TV guides and.
Absolutely. So let me ask you something: is our beloved co-host and dear friend Grunkle Scott available in the green room?
He does appear to be.
Okay, without further ado, the reason everybody actually watches this train wreck of a show, our dear friend, the super talented and just overall great guy, Mr. Grunkle Scott Giaffo. Hi, Grunkle Scott. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I see it's sun's out, guns out night for Grunkle Scott. He's got those cannons out. He's going to beat somebody into submission.
He's actually has drummer's arms, not guitarist arms.
I don't know what that means. It sounds kind of like I don't know. Was that a nice thing to say?
I don't know. Was it? I don't know.
Bad thing to say.
How are you, Grunkle Scott?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Well, I'm good. I'm delirious, is what I am. Actually, I'm needing. I'm looking for a second win. Actually, I'm my energy level is plummeting. I'm hydrating though.
Me too.
Don't forget your second wind. I am starting to get the sinking feeling, my friends, that our guest is not going to be joining us tonight.
Yeah, she's a half hour late, so
What do you
is
think?
what it is.
It is what it is.
What are you gonna do?
That's the last time I ever accept somebody asking to come on the show via email. Hold on a
I
second.
even took a shower and changed my underwear for this.
I am actually right now seeing what is going on.
Unless she thought you were in LA and
Well, you would think that if you wanted to be on the show, you would know when the show was on. What the hell do I know? Reaper's Rejects.
that's Amy. Hey,
Amy! She's actually showing up as... Hi, Amy. How are you? Who's Amy?
I'm drawing a blank on her last name. She's been in some movies recently with her son. I'm trying to think of the like Indiegogo campaign movies and stuff. She is a very cool chick.
Sweet.
She used to make these horror teddy bears also.
That's
Oh,
even
pretty cool.
cooler. Well, Scott, you're going to have to entertain us for the next 40 minutes. What do you got, pal?
Take it off! Oh, wait, wrong show.
That's it.
Oh, I just got a copyright strike. Thanks, Scott.
I hate to break...
Really? I wouldn't doubt it. It's like
I hate to break it to you, but that was not 40 minutes, Mr. Schiaffo.
stripper music, isn't it?
You know who he looked like just now with the he looked like Bowser.
Oh,
No, good night, sweetheart. It's time to go. Oh, we have hit rock bottom, ladies and gentlemen, here on the end of the night.
There's only a few people out there who know who Bowser is from Sha Na Na, so it doesn't.
do you know that they played Woodstock?
Did they really? I did not.
I think they opened, didn't they?
Isn't that insane?
That is insane. I
You know
love
what
that
blows
so
my
much.
mind about Woodstock? I live in Northeast Pennsylvania, and I always thought that Woodstock was hours and hours and hours away. And I was literally driving around with my daughter looking for lunch, and we drove into a town. Hold on a second. I drove into a town and found out that that was literally where Woodstock was. It's not in a town called Woodstock. It's in something I'm having a brain fart. But it's literally
Yeah, I know where
like-
it is.
like 30 minutes away from my house. And
Is it?
you s-
Because I was up in Accord where we had a cabin in the mountains for my grandparents and my father to go hunting.
Right.
And then they actually built the house on the property. But we could hear the demolition derby that took place in Woodstock or at like the Woodstock area every few weeks. So I know it was really close to Accord up in the mountains.
I hate this. It's right by Jeffersonville, where we go to a great place called Michelangelo's for dinner all the time. Bethel, thank Emmett, you are the best. Bethel Woods, and Emmett could attest because Emmett knows where I live and actually meets me in Bethel to go in Jeffersonville to go eat at Michelangelo's. And
Yeah, it's good fun. That's it.
Yeah, and it was really just I always thought it was all the way up. There's actually a place called Woodstock, New York, where Kevin Van Henenrick of Basket Case fame lives, which is literally 3 hours north of me and all the way up towards Albany, New York. Is where you would think that Woodstock took place in Woodstock, but it didn't. It took place in Bethel Woods, which is right next to maybe 10 or 12 minutes outside of Monticello. I agree, Emmett. And, I can't wait to go back with you to Michelangelo's to eat. It's actually 40 miles away from Woodstock. Okay. I think it's a little bit more, Ken, to be honest with you, but I guess 40, I guess, sounds about right.
Scott, you got a Lemmy look going on.
So it's either, is it Lemmy or is it Bowser?
I decide it was Bowser, in my opinion. I think he's referring to your mustache now, but do some Ace of Spades.
We might have somebody pop on and help bail us out, so just keep an eye on the green room.
I shall do what I want.
Don't make me reach through here and teach you a lesson. Whoa, I scared him with my...
Oh, man.
I scared...
Oh, now I got to rearrange everybody again. Thanks, Dave.
I scared him with my long reach.
Well, hell, man, if I saw a 7-foot Sasquatch coming towards me, I'd be running.
Oh, gee, thanks. That's very kind of you to
werewolf.
say.
I'm sorry.
Oh, isn't this a pretty brutal football card? The guy's all bloody on it. Isn't that kind of cool?
Wow, I'm surprised they allowed that. Only because, kids, right?
You would think so, but it's football.
That's not mud. That's blood.
Oh no, that's blood.
Wow.
See, he's all bloody. It's actually on his lip and then on his jaw. Who is this guy anyway? Matt something. I can't read because I don't have my glasses on. I'm getting old. I'm getting old and feeble. Matt Millen was a great football. So, Mr. Schiaffo, I know that coming up in the next couple of weeks, there will be the first big screening of a little film. David, did you get to see the Burst interview on IOU? What's IOU?
Industry Outlaws.
Yes, I did. I watched it. Yes, it was wonderful.
He commented.
Yeah, I commented. I said, hi, Amanda, and then she acted like she didn't know me, which hurt my feelings.
JW came on and asked her a question.
He did?
Yes.
I must have missed that part. What did he ask?
I'd be lying if I said I remembered. I edited a clip and put it on Facebook.
Oh, sweet.
For it, but I don't recall at the moment.
And Scott just had enough. He just picked up and left. I'm here literally asking him about Clerks, and he picks up and leaves.
No. I got to stay hydrated or I'm going to pass out, I'm sure.
Your beard looks like a Groucho Marx beard tonight. Like you put a little shoe polish, like the thing. Do you remember those shoe polishes they had in the 80s that had the little foam? And you'd squeeze the top of the bottle and you'd push it onto your shoe. It looks like a little thing like that going on.
Well, they're dripping.
We're all just jealous of you, Scott. You got it going on. You're handsome. You're musically talented. You can act. You got it all going on. So, of course, us jealous louts pick on you. Don't take it personally.
What do you say?
I love you guys either way.
So in the next coming weeks, I know that the premiere of Clerks is going on. I think out in Hollywood. And have you seen it yet, Scott?
I saw a screening last fall. A bunch of us, we were doing Rhode Island Comic-Con, and Kevin had us over to his suite, and he showed us a cut of the film. And so I saw it. I don't know how it might have changed since, but, it was pretty that was definitely a final edit at that point. But mind blowing, yes. I mean, it's made it's crazy. It's oh god,
And
it's
from what I understand, is that you especially and Marilyn are standouts in this movie. So I'm super excited to see what ultimately happens.
well, I could debunk that in a second.
Okay.
Marilyn kicks it. She kicks major butt. Really. I had a wonderful time, and the spot that was written for me is really wonderful. But I mean, I'm probably not on screen. I'm on screen less than even in the first, I believe. Not that I care,
Mhm.
but it's beautiful. You said that, and I've heard some folks say, how much fun that scene is, which it is. If you're an old school, if you're if you're in since day one, you're really going to enjoy the wackiness that happens when you see the old school cast. But Marilyn really has some heavy lifting in terms of it's funny, it's sad. She's got a lot. She really kicks ass.
No, I mean that's absolutely fantastic because you guys are awesome and you deserve to. But you know what's funny? Ever since we've been friends for almost a decade now, Scott, and when I watched the original Clerks, since we've become close, it's astonishing how long your sequence is in that film. You're in that film almost the first third of the film. It's pretty epic.
Well, what's always been a tough pill to swallow, or a bitter pill. Kevin sent us those killer screeners that, well, I'm saying it like everybody knows. We were all sent VHS screeners about quite a while after we shot. Quite a while. It was before Sundance, but it was just before the AFM. He sent us cool VHS screeners, his cut. And of course, I got very used to that cut. And then when Miramax put it out, it had been cut up differently. Now, granted, they didn't really cut up the Gum Guy stuff, but it was edited a little differently than Kevin's edit. And I was a little thrown by it because I got so used to that original, which you could see on the, if you ever see the director's cut, which is on the anniversary Blu-ray, and it'll probably be on a lot of different things moving forward. On the Xbox, you get the Kevin's cut, which is what we all got on VHS. But I'm actually, I'm there's like a ringing in my ear. I might be passing out.
Oh, okay. Do you need to check out for a second and go get something cold to drink and not pass out?
I'm kidding, but I do feel weak.
Just so everybody knows, Scott, Scott's in the Northeast, and where he is tonight is in the upper 90s with almost 100% humidity. So he's dealing with unbearable heat. I luckily live on top of a mountain in Pennsylvania, so it snows here in August, which is so fantastic. So, yes.
Well, first of all, I want to say hello, Crystal. Thank you for
Hi,
joining
Crystal.
us. And there is somebody in the green room.
Oh, is it?
Wearing a Mets hat.
Okay. That's so apropos because every time the game is on the line, you have to bring in a great closer. And Joe and Scott, this is actually a red letter episode for this show. We have never, ever been stood up by a guest before. This is the first time. And when that happens, you got to pull the shot 2 times. Who was the other one?
Ari.
I was gonna say,
Ari, the Jason guy. The Jason guy did this, right? Okay, so it's the second time. Now I feel even worse. Thank you, Joe. It's very kind of you to
Oh,
bring it up.
sorry. Somebody's got to remember this shit.
Oh, there you go. Second.
in no way, shape, or form is that a reflection on us.
Well, as I was saying, like any great team, somebody comes out of the bullpen and saves the game for you when things are looking rough. And we are blessed on this show to literally have the ace reliever, literally a pop culture god and icon who's everybody loves, and one of me and Scott's and Joe's dearest friends. Oh, wait, you told me it's Brian O'Halloran. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian O'Halloran. Sorry. I mistaken him for somebody else. Hello, Mr. O'Halloran.
I was waiting for the trumpets to start so that I could come out properly as the closer that I am. Literally sitting on my couch with Rocky, my cat, right next to me, and watching a program on TV, and he's like, "Help!" And I'm like, I'm thinking something went like at the house went wrong. He's like, "A guest bailed on me." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's nothing new. That's happened before." Ari. I remembered that one. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't the first time. Maybe the first time this season.
Wow, thanks. You're literally like salt on a wound, my friend. That's a nice metaphor, by the way.
I'm not. Hey, you gotta, to preserve things well, you use a lot of salt. Like a good bacala, as the Italians would say.
By the way, this gentleman who is just aces in my book and is beloved by my family, got my daughter for her birthday a statue of the Thinker. And it is absolutely beautiful. And it's so apropos for, it's like a giant wooden
weapon.
It's going to be great if anybody ever tries to mess with my daughter at college. She could bonk them on the head with it, and it won't break because it's like really a beautiful story. So he
think of as the many loves of Dobie Gillis.
He got her a giant statue of the Thinker, which was absolutely. And last night when she was thinking about what the meaning behind it was, she got her eyes welled up, and she was really touched because she was so proud that you think that she's smart. So thank you very much, Mr. O'Halloran. You're a good guy.
I don't think that she's smart. Your daughter's extremely smart. And so, she didn't know who the Thinker was. I don't know what they're teaching these kids in school these days that you don't know one of the greatest work of art that's ever been in the world called The Thinker. But that aside, I was glad I was able to educate her on what The Thinker was. I'm glad that she took it the way I meant it, which is she's an incredibly thoughtful person and also a very highly educated, very deep individual that the Thinker would be appropriate to have on her desk at school, but also, once again, works as an amazing weapon.
No, absolutely. And that was very, very kind of you. And Mr. O'Halloran, I was just trying to grill Mr. Schiaffo. Everything Clerks 3, the movie we're on the cusp of it coming out for people to see. It's September 13th and 15th at theaters throughout the country, and you guys are touring, and I know that you're going to be heading out to California to see it at what was once Grumman's Chinese Theater. I don't know what they're calling it today, but I'm sure you could tell us. What's the
TCL Grauman's Theater. It's the very famous place everybody goes to there on Hollywood Boulevard. We did the Jay and Silent Bob reboot premiere there, and that was a fun time back in 2019. So they've gotten to know Kevin really well there at that theater. He's done a few events for them at that theater, so it was it's a no-brainer to have the actual premiere there. Now that is just the premiere that the distributor Lionsgate is putting out. There are the tickets for the Clerks tour, the Inconvenience, or this time the Convenience tour, where Kevin's going from city to city, touring it like a band, like we did with the Jay and Silent Bob reboot movie, where people will be able to go and see the movie, and then there's a Q&A. I think Kevin last time broke a record and may have gotten to 4 questions in one night. I'm gonna have to check the books on that one. But some of us will be at those screenings as well. Those are a different ticket price. You can find those tickets at clerks3.movie. But you could also go to that same website to find the Fathom event tickets, which is the 13th and the 15th, both 7 o'clock screenings, Tuesday and Thursday. Put in your zip code. It'll find you the one out of the 750 theaters that will be participating on those 2 dates in September.
And what I suspect, Brian, is that the Fathom events are going to all sell out quickly. So please, if you plan on attending, get your tickets
And everybody buying and attending the Fathom events gets an exclusive poster, like we did with the Jay and Silent Bob reboot screening. So you're definitely going to want to get that as well.
Is it the movie poster, Brian? Do you know? Is it the movie poster, or you don't know? It's a special poster?
Oh no, it's a special poster.
Wow. Speaking
just like the Jay and Bob ones.
I just want to say, oh my gosh, when I saw that the Chuli's placard is behind the boys in the poster, I mean, I welled up. I couldn't believe it. I felt like that is the coolest thing.
I'm so sorry. Totoro is in the movie. That's Totoro. He plays a different character. You think that's the Chuli's Gum guy? I'm so sorry. It's actually Totoro. I'm kidding. Of course it's you. Yeah, of course we're going to have you in the movie, and not be on the posters. You bitch so much about the other poster you weren't on that we said, look, we don't want him bitching all the time. Got to put him on. Get him and give him at least one poster. Okay, yeah, it won't be the main poster. It'll be something that we can hand out to kids for free. I don't know. No, yes, of course you're on an awesome poster. It's I'm really happy with it.
I looked at the dates and everything, and I didn't see anything for Florida. JW saying now there's one in Orlando that just came out.
Yes, the thing about the tour dates, if you're thinking about, I want to see and have maybe one of my questions answered, every weekend we release more listings of cities. Don't worry. If you've seen any of the Jay and Silent Bob reboot tour roadshow dates, if it was in your city, then you're going to get it again. The same cities from the tour of reboot will get this as well. Plus, I believe they say an additional 15 cities. So don't worry. We just announced another 5, which I believe includes like Tampa and Orlando. The tickets haven't been put on sale as of yet, but the city has been announced.
Sweet. And I suspect, but I don't want to say this because I don't want it to affect the Fathom sales at all, because I'm 100% assured that they're going to sell out every showing that they have. But I suspect if they sell out like they do, there will be more showings added. But I guess none of us can confirm that at this point. So make sure
the Fathom events, I think it's literally just going to be those 2 dates. The only times that we'll probably add dates would be cities that are announced. If those cities shows of the tour sell out, they may add a matinee of that same day. That's what I'm hearing the skinny is about adding extra days beyond the planned cities that we already have blocked out. And so we'll be touring this until December. So the end of December, just like we did with Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which literally ended just before COVID started breaking out of China. So hopefully this time, like bubonic plague doesn't happen at the end of December. Don't quote me on that. I'm just saying.
Can you speak on? Is there a? Because this has been asked to me so many different ways. I'm trying to figure out the most way to say it. Obviously, Jay and Bob are going to be at every single one of those.
No. Kevin will be at every one of the.
Okay.
Right. Jay might be doing his tour of his comedy shows. Not all of us will be at every single date. A good bunch of us are definitely going to be at the Red Bank launch of the tour, because it's the launch of the tour, and it's Jersey, and it is what we do. It's that. So.
And CJ is going to be at that one.
Oh, which
right
one?
On, man. Good to see you.
Where's CJ going to be at? Which one?
The one in Red Bank.
Oh, sweet.
Right, which there's still I believe the evening show is sold out. We added a matinee, the 1 o'clock show, I believe it is. Tickets are still available for the Red Bank 1 o'clock show, which technically is the very first screening. So you could get in ahead of everybody for the 1 o'clock screening on the 4th of September. Get down to Red Bank. You'll be able to get a table to eat, because, sometimes Red Bank gets pretty busy.
What's really cool, Brian, is that CJ, who has a show on the network, as you probably know, is also a great indie filmmaker.
I believe it's Mondays, right?
Yeah, Manic Mondays, yeah. And what's great about that is he coming all the way from San Antonio, Texas to see you guys up in New Jersey.
Well, he's trying to get to cooler weather.
And apparently he loves the grass in New Jersey. I have
Yeah,
no
he
idea
just had
why.
the birthday bash.
Well, there's
love-
there's no grass in Texas. It's a land of tumbleweeds, son, and cactuses. So he's like, ooh, grass. It's like people coming up from Florida who've never seen snow. What is this? True story. I was at a convention. The convention company is based in Florida. They had a show up in Minnesota a couple of years ago in Minneapolis, and it snowed on the Sunday, I think it was, of the con. And literally, staff members were like, "Where did everybody go?" Like they were out in the loading dock area of the convention center because they were like, "I've never seen snow in real life." And it's weird because like these are people like in their 20s and stuff. We're like, "Really? You've never gone somewhere?" "No, never." And I was like, "Wow."
It's funny.
It's true.
So did you watch our beloved Mets today beat the Braves twice?
It was phenomenal seeing Jacob deGrom throw, I think, one of the best games he's ever thrown in his life. And it's great to see him get the run support that, if you're a Mets fan, historically when Jacob was pitching the Mets, somehow the bats don't really start working. So this time everything was clicking, and it's good to see everybody who was acquired for the most part from the trade deadline is contributing kind of well.
No, absolutely. It looks like they actually built a team based on analytics that actually are smart and are working. CJ writes, that's Austin, Texas, Dave. I apologize because when you met me in San Antonio. For some bizarre reason, I thought you were San Antonio.
See, now that makes more sense. CJ comes to me as someone coming from Austin because Austin, I'm sorry to say this for the rest of Texas, Austin is the coolest city in Texas.
No, San Antonio is the coolest city. San Antonio is a million times cooler than Austin.
Yeah, it's a great place to eat, but there's so much more to do I believe, in Austin.
Okay.
JW is sending some kind of Morse code.
JW says 12 Ks and 5.2. Yeah, I mean, I'm always a little rough on DeGrom. In reality, he gave up 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings, which is a 3 ERA. He didn't give us much length, but it was a good game. So we won. That's all that really matters.
Thank God you're not managing.
Yes.
You're such a good pep talker.
Mark Clark had a 3 ERA, and we didn't pay him $30 million
Hey,
this
Scott.
season.
Yes.
Do you
Scott's
give a shit
looking
about
at-
this stuff?
I'm sorry.
Do you give a shit about this stuff?
Of course not.
Well, I'm a sports idiot. You could talk sports. I have no idea about anything about sports.
Why don't we talk about things that the fans come to see the show for?
Absolutely. Brian, tell us everything that you could possibly tell us about Clerks 3, because this is an amazing time for both of you guys. Clerks 1 and 2 are possibly one of the most beloved comic franchise films in history. You guys got Clerks 3 coming out. You guys have really worked really hard on getting Clerks 3 made. You two, and I'm just a guy saying this, I actually been out on the road with you guys, and I've never ever seen people who treat their fans with more kindness and respect. Joe, this will blow your mind. There are actually saps. I mean, there are actually people out there who walk up to Brian and are shaking and are crying because they're meeting Brian. And what?
Does he smell?
No, he doesn't smell. He doesn't.
Oh.
Listen, this is a phenomena that Dave doesn't understand or ever experiences, that there are fans who are very absolutely shaken that they get to meet you in person. When Dave, shows up for the opening of an envelope, it's like, oh, it's Dave again. But me, it's just like, oh my God. First they go to Scott, they go, you're still alive? And second is they come to me and they go like, wow, that guy who writes all the funny things for you, he's hilarious. What's his table at? Where's his table? Oh, that's kind of what we get.
He's lying through his teeth because he's beloved, and they're both very, very, very kind to their fans. And they both take their time with each and every one of them. And that's why people want to see you guys succeed, because you're so you're wonderful with your fans, and you're wonderful in the community. And now Clerks 3, which I know has been in the rumor mill and has been in the works for probably close to 5 or 10 years now. Would that be a fair assessment, Bry?
About 7. It's been in the works for about 7.
About 7.
And the thing is, I still don't believe we've made this movie. I will know it once the final credit has rolled at the Chinese theater there for the premiere. And then I'll look it up and I'll look at Diane and I'm like, all right, I think we made a movie. I'm honest to God, I'm sticking to that. Like it could be taken from us any minute. A meteor that we have not spotted may hit this planet any minute. Clerks 3 never gets out there.
No, Brian, you have to change that attitude, because you're going to look back when it's all said and done, and you're going to say, why didn't I enjoy this more? Enjoy this. This is your moment, bro.
I can enjoy it once it's out. Until it's out, I'm like, I still don't know if we've made this movie yet.
Okay.
Well, in all reality, too, the road was long. The road is long. It was a long, long road, man. Many iterations. And then once upon a time, it looked like it might not even really ever happen.
Correct. It definitely was a long and winding road. As the Clerks 3 may not even happen at all, but Dave really's crossing his fingers. Don't let it disappear. Buy your tickets now. Clerks3.movies where you can get all your merch. Maybe even hear the last of the song.
Now, where else are you going to get the Chuli's Gum Guy playing piano and Dante singing Beatle tunes?
We're one guy short. We're one guy short of a wandering wannabe reunion. I mean, this is literally what we had going on here. It's pretty close. It's pretty awesome.
No, I am really excited. The people who have seen the movie, there's about 200 to 300 of them out there from different test screenings, but also the Kevin Smith Movie Club winners who Kevin had a contest to have a screening for them. We've seen like about 6 or 7 of them come up to us at these various cities at the various cons and say how much they absolutely love the movie. And I'm not taking any quotes out of thin air. These people really genuinely enjoyed everybody's performances. Big shout outs to Rosario Dawson. She crushes it. Marilyn Gigliotti. You're going to see such amazing work out of Marilyn Gigliotti. This guy in which square? That's that square. Yeah. That square up there. He does an amazing job. There's a new, you're going to be calling him a new catchphrase with this.
Okay,
new one.
sweet.
It's going to be funny. I've already warned him. I'm like, start practicing writing this phrase on all your shots because everybody's going to be running up to you, screaming that at you. So he knows what I'm talking about.
And it's the coolest. Like most actors want to be able to parody this kind of thing. It was that kind of fun. It was really so good. I so blessed to have gotten that section.
Yeah. And all kidding aside, Scott, when me and Brian have spoken about Clerks when we're just talking candidly to each other, he may not tell you this to your face, but he just did actually. But he was quite amazed with how wonderful your performance was, and was blown away.
Yeah, and it's not just me; it's everybody else who was behind the camera, in the scene, worked with you, and stuff like that. All the people really, really enjoyed. Everybody who came in from the original, especially, just blew the doors off of things. I mean, come on, it's almost 30 years since we first did the first one. We might have learned a tiny bit more about the craft since then. So it's fun. I can't wait for people to really see it. The tour, of conventions that will follow these. I'm sure the Q&As are going to be like heavily attended because people are like, what about the scene with the such and such? Or, oh my God, how did you got to do blah, 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 blah. So, we're really excited. Jeff really carries the weight of this film, playing Randall. Trevor Furman, you know him, you love him from Clerks 2 as Elias. He's back in the most amazing transformation of Elias. You'll see there's hints of it in the trailer. We're joined by Austin Zager, who you may have known from Kevin Smith's Home and Stepson Lockdown, I believe it was, for TBS. That's it, Son-in-Law Lockdown. It was really he's really great in this as well, and so many cameos. I wanted to say who the cameos are, but some show up in the trailer, and then there are ones that you're gonna be like, oh my god, I thought you said you had no budget. That kind of thing.
No, that's fantastic. And CJ has the greatest line for tonight's show. Dante wasn't even supposed to be here tonight. Zing.
Nope. Absolutely. Absolutely, CJ. You're absolutely right. I think that's why he texts me. He messages me like, I'm stuck, help. And because I have to come on here and say, folks, I'm here again, even though I'm not even supposed to be here today.
That's exactly why I do it.
And that's if you get to the phone lines now and be the 8th caller right now to win 2 tickets. He said the phrase that pays.
The phrase that pays.
Yeah, those are New York City Z100 fans know that one.
From the top of the Empire State Building, yes.
That's right.
Yes. Scott Shannon and was it Ross Britton, Brian? Were those the original guys?
I think so.
Of the Z Morning Zoo, Scott Shannon and Ross Britton. Wow. So, September 13th and 15th, am I correct?
Yeah, those are the Fathom events. That's that's 750 screens across the country. Go to Clerks, the number 3.movie. You'll see Get Your Tickets Now tab, and then you enter in your zip code, and it'll give you the local theaters. As a matter of fact, just for Dave and I up in our little, you think there's nothing near us. There's actually 3 theaters all within 40 minutes of us showing this movie as well. So you can get your tickets now for those. Once again, just 7 o'clock screenings here on the East Coast. I don't know what they're doing on the West Coast, but you'll get an exclusive poster, and you'll also be able to say, I saw it. So please support that. And here's the thing, right, is not only is that happening, but what does that do? We are going, Brian, all right, I'm going to be suckered into buying, these tickets for your show. What else am I getting out of this? Here's what else you're going to get out of this. Because if this does well theatrically on those 2 dates, or if you especially go to the tour and see the tour with the live Q&A afterwards at the various cities, the money that is made off the tour and off these Fathom events will then fund what I think is on Kevin's next slate, is a Mallrats 2. And then there's also producers thinking about rebooting the Clerks cartoon. So it's all about a showing. Like if it shows and makes a good thing, then we can continue with the funny stuff or funny to us at least stuff. Mallrats 2 and a Clerks cartoon.
That's
so get
really
out there.
Funny that you mentioned that, because we were talking to Jeremy London about 2 weeks ago, I think, on Brandon's show. And we were talking about if there's ever going to be a Mallrats 2. And Jason's like, you guys want to see a bunch of old guys hanging out at the mall? I'm like, well, yeah, that's kind of like the in thing now. The old people speed walk in the air conditioned. Okay,
but it's also it's a funnier testament to where malls are in today's economy, and I think Kevin has put together a very funny script as to what the people who are in Mallrats, where would they be today? What would their kids be doing? Because I think in the beginning he was calling the temporary name for the thing was going to be called Mall Brats, where it was like the kids of these folks from the original. But I don't think that's it anymore. So I'm anxious to do it. I'll do whatever he wants, to be honest with you. Kevin is such a funny, hilarious writer that if he said, hey, Brian, I need you to be on the 42nd, Times Square kind of train platform to shoot something, I'm like, I'm there. What are we doing? I want you to play these bucket of drums. I'm like, I'm doing it. Whatever it is, it's going to be funny because I enjoy Kevin's work.
And Brian, where can people find information about the special screenings that you guys are going to be at?
Same thing. Clerks, the number 3.
Okay.
.movie has both the Fathom event tickets, and then if you scroll down, you'll literally see all the cities that are listed. The latest 5 cities that were listed, I don't think the tickets are on sale at this moment. They should be probably by tomorrow. I think the tickets may be going on sale. And after every weekend, I've been told we add about 4 to 5 new cities.
Sweet. CJ Robles asks, Brian, what does the VIP experience come with for those fans that are on the fence whether or not to purchase the perk?
I believe the VIP comes with, you get to the theater, you're getting the poster, you're getting a poster, you're getting a meet and greet with Kevin and anyone else who's with Kevin for that screening, and then a photo op.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. You get to, that was really cool.
Now, on the website, does it say who's going to be at each individual one or no?
No, that information is going to be surprised. But I guarantee you, Kevin will be at all of them. I'm probably doing more of the East Coast dates. Jeff and Trevor and Marilyn and such will probably do more of the West Coast dates. And then I think we thumb wrestle for the Midwest.
So do you know if you're coming down to Florida or not?
Once those tickets goes on sale, I will find out because I have friends that I stay with in Orlando. So the Orlando date is pretty easy. And Tampa even, Tampa's just a 2-hour drive. So I don't see why not at this moment, as long as it doesn't interfere with a already pre-scheduled Comic-Con. That's the only thing that happens is if that, we have contracts with that. If that happens, we have to go the Comic-Con route.
And our dear friend Emmett Garnham from Haven for Heroes says, I'll have to go 5 times at least. And
Perfect. Listen, and it's going to be in September, especially up here in the Northeast. Bring some homeless people with you off the streets. They'll get them a bucket of popcorn, pay for it's a nice thing. They don't get to go to movies, really. So have them sit for an hour and 130 minutes, whatever it is, 115 minutes to watch a great movie. They'll be like, who are these fucking guys? And then be like, this popcorn is stale. I'm not leaving. I'm now sleeping here. It's my impersonation of what homeless people are, and it's a horrible thing.
It's a write-off.
It's a write-off. There you go.
Waynesboro, come down here, guys.
Well, I am very, 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 very glad that you're sharing these details, because I made a little silly video to just tell people to go to that website because I don't have any of the people asking me who's going to be at what shows and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that I don't know yet. We really haven't nailed down that schedule yet.
Yeah.
I know I want to do quite a few of the cities just because, how many times are you going to hear Kevin speak? Come on. I'm just kidding. I kid. But yeah, I'd like to see what people's reactions are, and at the Comic-Cons, I've told people, like, go see the movie, and then we'll come back to the next show I'm at and tell me how you liked it. By the way, no refunds.
I missed this comment earlier. CJ saying, it's been too long. What's up, O'Halloran? Love the accent you gave Barry on Our Own.
Ah, yes. The great guys over at Ernie O'Donnell and those guys did a sitcom called On Our Own. I was on the show from the airport. I did my few minutes I could on that, and I was glad that Ernie reached out to say that he wanted me to be a part of it. I've always been busting people in an Irish accent from time to time, and so Ernie's like, I want to utilize that for something someday, and they were able to put me into it. And the great Scott Schaff as well is in the episode. Is in episode 3, I think, or 4. Very funny episode. 5, excuse me, episode 5. So I'm glad that he was able to be a part of it, and we're hoping, to do a second season. I think 6 is a good number for a season for something like this. So we need you to get out there and see it, people. Go to your Amazon Prime Video account and rent it if you like. If you rent the whole season, it's cheaper. And then hopefully we get a little Skrilla to make a second season, if you like what you see.
Yeah, it's absolutely hysterical, Brian. It's a very, very funny show.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. O'Halloran, as always, you came through in the clutch. You're a good egg, Mr. O'Halloran.
Hey, you're lucky you caught me home this weekend. Normally, I'm not home on the weekends.
There's
Yes.
cats. Are you kidding? There's cats all over the place, man.
Yes, I'll be doing upcoming shows. Will be next week. This coming weekend rather. I'll be doing Fan Expo Boston. Let's see if I can find the.
By the way, there are going to be 3 buffoons that you are very familiar with in Boston this weekend. If you want to leave tickets at the front gate for me.
Who are the buffoons? You're gonna have to message me who these buffoons are.
Well,
I have to screen.
you're looking at one, and I'm sure you could figure out who the other 2 are.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Thanks for the warning. So yeah, I'll be at the
Cannoli
Fan
time.
Boston, August 12th through the 14th. Myself, Jeff Anderson, Trevor Furman, and Jay and Silent Bob themselves, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. Kevin is only there on the Saturday. The rest of us will be there for the whole weekend.
And CJ is saying that it's only $8 for the entire season of On Our Own on Amazon. So it's
So
definitely.
there you go. It's the price of one. It's the price of just one show.
Nope, that's absolutely fantastic.
And so then after that, I go to Colorado Springs for Colorado Springs Comic Con. And then from there, I literally fly to LA for the premiere of Clerks. And then literally from LA, I fly to Toronto for Fan Expo Canada in Toronto. So go to my Instagram or go to my Twitter or Facebook at any of these addresses. There'll be links to those shows there.
Awesome.
Yes.
And I've been dying to say this on my show for years now, but congratulations, guys. Clerks 3 looks fantastic. Everybody's super, super excited about it. The buzz on the viral buzz and is through the roof, and I couldn't be prouder of both of you for making a film that's probably going to stand toe to toe with the previous 2 and make us laugh, maybe even make us cry, make us just have a wonderful time at the theater. So thank you, both of you, for being the guys you are.
Thank you, man. And remember, no refunds.
No.
And JW saying, thanks for Clerks News and really hope Joe and I can buy you a drink or many drinks at the Orlando show.
Sounds like a plan.
JW and Joe, I will tell you to make sure that you take out a second mortgage if you're meeting
I was
Mr.
curious
O'Halloran.
why he's spending my money. I don't understand.
The trailer alone makes me happy as a fan. I can't wait, CJ says. So
Yeah, the trailer that the people at Lionsgate put together, absolutely fantastic. One of the best trailers I've seen encapsulate a movie so well. We actually got to meet the guy who actually put that trailer together out at San Diego Comic-Con, and just talking to him, you can tell the people at Lionsgate really love the film and really get it too. The marketing team there, very young team, young compared to me. I'm not saying they're young like we're teenagers. No, very amazing professionals who handled us beautifully out at San Diego when we were promoting with Marilyn and Jeff and Trevor and Jay and Kevin, of course. It was a lot of fun. So big kudos to the folks at Lionsgate. I think we're in very capable hands.
well, let's be honest, Brian. Moses' team is young compared to you, but
True.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that trailer really does kick ass, man. That trailer
Yeah.
blew my head. I saw a cut. I mean, I'm sure it's changed since we saw it last fall. I got to see it in Rhode Island, but I was just floored by the trailer.
Yeah. They really did a great job with the trailer. Yeah. And I think folks will really be like, wow, when they see the film, and be like, oh my God, they did a great job with that trailer because of all this special stuff they didn't show and spoil. And so I think that's going to be the best thing about it is like people are going to be like, holy crap, this was such an amazing movie.
Does that song that he chose to use in the trailer have any connection to like the storytelling in the film?
I'm not going to spoil it at all.
Right.
I know at San Diego he did show the very first 5 minutes of the movie, the entire 5 minutes of the movie, and people went bananas with it. It's pretty much just a music video. The first 5 minutes with the good boys giving us the Black Parade soundtrack song to the soundtrack, just lays out the whole first 5 minutes of the film brilliantly.
Unbelievable, and the movie's a shade under 2 hours, so fans are not going to feel gypped. It's a full length film. They're going to get, and I couldn't be more excited for you guys, as you know.
And to be honest with you, there's some scenes I wish he had kept longer in it when I first saw the first cut of it. So I know the deleted scene section is going to be hilarious as well.
No, I mean, it's something to look forward to when it comes out on physical media, is to see all the behind the scenes stuff and stuff that you guys throw on a disc.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing Kevin always loves to do, is because our fans are physical media, collectors. So we're definitely doing a pretty intensive Blu-ray, DVD kind of packaging and release.
Absolutely. Well, seeing that it's literally family on the screen, we're not going to let anybody send off tonight. We're just all going to sign off together. Brian, is there anything that you want to tell the folks before we sign off, where to find anything or anything that we didn't hit on?
No, I think I covered it all. If you want more information, any of these addresses above here. I want to thank you for reaching out to me tonight to talk briefly about it. But also, thanks for catching me, like I said, on a weekend that I'm not away. And thank you, folks who have come out to the shows I've already been to these past couple of months and the ones that I will be going to in the next couple of months. I look forward to meeting you guys in the certain theaters for the tour. I look forward to hearing your reactions. I look forward to hearing about your comments. And I embrace it all. So, spread the word if you can. That's all I ask. Spread the word to go see the movies in theaters, because then that triggers a whole bunch of other great stuff that we can work on.
I got a quick question for Brian, if I may. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So when you're in Red Bank, any possibility of an O'Halloran live at the Smodcastle?
Not for when the tour dates go. No, because we'll be busy that whole night with the two shows that night. But Kevin just made an announcement this week. He's actually buying the theater, the 3-screen theater, the Atlantic Cinema, or also known as the Atlantic Movie House there in Atlantic Highlands on First Avenue. And he'll be turning one of the 3 theaters into a broadcast podcasting space with an audience that could seat about 200 people. So the castle I think will still be there for smaller type of stuff, but he's gone a little bit bigger to turn it into a broadcast area for podcasts and streamcasts. But also he's talking about opening up hopefully a film school, and he's already commented on his Instagram post about it that he wants me to teach there. So if he's Dean Smith, I'll be Professor O'Halloran.
Brian, that's the theater that we were just in recently.
Correct.
Wow,
Correct.
that's so awesome! Oh my God,
Yeah.
I don't know. Before we go, I wanted to embarrass this cat, but I feel like I'm gonna get emotional. I better not.
Come on, what's up?
No, this guy has been so good to me over the years on the road. Brian's been a great friend. He's like the older brother. I'm older, but he's like the older brother. He's helped me out on the road. And on the set of Clerks 3, it was pretty bombastic. I was a little taken aback just how big the whole thing was. And as soon as he saw me, he just welcomed me into his trailer, which was like 3 of my trailers. And he just said, come back, come here, kick in, relax, eat, take a load off. So the guy's just, whatever you might hear, I don't know. He's a wonderful, wonderful dude.
Someday you must introduce me to him.
Thank Scott. Anything I can do, I try to help anyone, just like I would expect someone to try to welcome me into their world as well. So, together we always have a blast. I know once the movie hits, we're going to be having you on the road even more. So be expecting that, because a lot of the promoters right now don't know how much of a part you are in the new one. So I know once the new one hits, people will be like, "Oh, I want the Chuli Scum guy back! Oh my God, he did such an amazing job with this." So I think it's going to be kind of funny once we get this out. Once it's been birthed, so to speak, and the baby's out there, the shower gifts will come, as they say. But thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I love you. I love hanging out with you, especially on the road. It's always a blast. There's always some sort of crazy story that comes out of it.
Always, always, man. It's been the joy. It's been the joy of my last, professionally, it's been the joy of the last 15, 20 years for me. It really has.
Right on, man. Same here.
Well, I want to thank Brian for bailing me out. You're an awesome friend. I say it all the time. You know, I like to kid with you. We like to throw some shade on each other, but you know, I'm always in the foxhole with you, brother. So thank you so much for coming on. Thank you, Mr. Schiaffo, for being my co-host and my dear friend. I'm super proud of Clerks 3 and everything both of you gentlemen have done on. Joe Ridgely, I don't even know why you're here. You make me somewhat nauseous, but I guess somebody has to work the board.
Come accustomed to it.
Joe, you know I love you, pal. I'm just teasing. With that being said, we will be back next Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern with a huge sci-fi star that really bugs me. If it's kind of a clue. Next Sunday, 10 p.m., we have a huge sci-fi star. Everybody check out Clerks 3. It's going to be the film event of the fall, and it's these guys are responsible for just a wonderful, wonderful film, and I can't wait to see it. Brian said he would see it with me. How cool is that? I don't believe him, but at least he said it.
We need ushers.
And September 13th and 15th is the Fathom events. Go on Clerk's website to find out about the other events. I want to thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back next Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Good night, everybody.